170 is much better. His mood is changed, his energy is changed, everything is changed, you know, it's much better. Yeah. And he feel good, physically he feel good, like he really like these weight classes. I don't think he's gonna go down ever. I don't think so.
As Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry draw close to their highly awaited encounter, the discussion on the match is at a whole new level. Right from the legendary Khabib Nurmagomedov to the ever-controversial Chael Sonnen and many other names in the MMA field, everyone has something to say about the possible outcome of the match. It is believed that Ian's size, movement, and strikes will pose challenges to Islam, although there are those who firmly believe that the champion's wrestling skills and pressure are going to be overwhelming for Ian.
When you're trying to develop a game plan against somebody like that, who's a runner, how do you focus your training? Because you got good guys, you have Shanko, you have Usman, you have Khabib, you had Umar. How do you have your guys emulate what Ian Garry's gonna do, or do you guys just train to be the best version of Islam?
This is the part which one we always focus, to be in the great shape, you know. Of course, we're looking for the opponent to make the game plan, and I bring some couple guys for this camp who have some who tall, who have good reach, you know. But most of the things just come to the fight, become in great shape, you know. This is the thing which one we focus always. But I have many good sparring partners like Usman and Amro. They have similar style. Usman also he not go too much forward. He just try to do contra punch, you know. It's similar style. That's why I did a lot of rounds inside this camp, and I think better than young strikers in my camp.
That's what made it so hard for Islam. Ian Garry does not do this. Ian Garry will defend on his way down. All right, maybe I'll wrap up, and he can get stuck for a whole round doing that. How does Islam get it to the ground? Most success when he gets to the hips or the legs, anywhere from the hips under. So if he grabs a foot, and even if he's grabbed the knee and then they're hopping on the 1 foot, he's good with his trips. Again, the body lock, Ian Garry does a great job of sagging, getting them out of position and slowly breaking the grips and keeping them grips broken, making it hard for him to chain from there. Islam's going to do a way better job of chaining in them positions than Shavkat, so don't be surprised if Islam still has success in those positions, but be prepared for Ian Garry to have some success on the wall work, in the body lock position, when he's pressed up on the fence. I think majority of the time he's going to be pretty safe. And if he's doing the right things, Islam won't waste too much energy going for something that's not there. But I believe he will eventually get the takedowns, and that's where he can win rounds or even get the finish. I think Islam's going to get the win. He can definitely get the submission to finish. I think he can get it to the ground. I can see Ian Garry having success in some of the, some of his stand-up, some of the wall work stuff. I think he will mix it up, try and stay very long, and be very patient. I think he's gonna have to play a boring style to be very effective and try and do it for 25 minutes, which is gonna be hard. I'm gonna have to go with Islam. I think he eventually gets it down. He'll win rounds because of that, and not only that, he can get the finish. So there's my little breakdown of Islam and Ian Garry.
Ian Garry's winning this shit, man. And he's putting the belt around Layla's waist. I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you, it's exactly what's gonna happen. I've been looking for a better Dustin Poirier for years. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Someone out there is going to have the ability to scramble up and to escape positions of a Dustin Poirier or the Volkanovski, based on their frame, based on their ability. And once they do, Makhachev's going to be in a world of trouble, folks. Okay? I don't think Ian Garry gets held down by Makhachev. First of all, I don't think he gets submitted by Makhachev in this fight. I could maybe see a world where it happens. I don't think Ian Machado Garry is 6'3". I think he's about 6'2", and Makhachev's probably borderline 5'11". So I don't think the height difference is going to be too crazy, but he's got some reach to work with here on Makhachev. And I think he's going to like cut Makhachev open with a... I think it'll just be one of them fights where you're like, oh yeah, damage shit just happened to Makhachev. The cut that Poirier opened up got opened up by Garry in round 1. And it's bugging Makhachev on the feet a bit. He stomped Makhachev's leg with an oblique kick early in the fight. Sure, he got taken down. But here's what I want to say. I don't think Ian Garry is going to have to do what JD...
Walking in, where Islam stands if he wins. Obviously, he's got to get past Ian first, but there's a lot of discussion like, is this enough to be the greatest of all time? Are you looking at this as this is his moment to be the GOAT?
I don't think about that stuff until the fight happens. I mean, when we see his performance on Saturday, let's see how it plays out. But obviously, breaking the record, you know, you keep grinding, you keep fighting, put your head down, just keep, you know, fucking knocking guys down left and right. And then by the time you say, you know what, I'm done, then we all figure out where he, you know, where he ends up in the big picture. But he's on the right path. That's
With the debate just getting more and more heated, Khabib has decided to further explain his opinion on why Islam is such a challenging opponent. In light of their many years of training together, Khabib stated that Islam always had high-level competitors around him, which pushed him to improve through competing against people who already surpassed him. Eventually, the situation shifted and now Islam became the high-level competitor while other people admired him. In Khabib's view, all those years of improvement due to competition and rivalry played a crucial role in reaching his current position and in being able to compete with anyone at the highest level.
We trained together for many years, and he never had to go anywhere to find a sparring partner, because he always had one in the gym. So I developed by training with the older guys in the gym, the stronger guys, the better guys, when I was young. Then, when they left, I was the one in front. Islam kept growing. Now I left, Islam is the one in front, and now other guys are developing through him. This is a kind of chain that exists in a gym, in a training system that produces the best fighters in the world. And in this chain, Islam was always behind me. If I was behind someone, Islam was behind me. Now others are following. Islam, Usman, Amru, and other guys. You could put them against any of the best fighters in the world right now, and they would perform very well.
Khabib also stated that it is not only the availability of excellent sparring partners that made the growth of Islam possible. The fighter emphasized that he got where he is now thanks to hard training, constant effort, and self-sacrifice. Unlike others who were able to have fun at the parties and have other interests in their lives, Islam dedicated all his time and energy to fighting, training, resting, eating, and going through this cycle day after day. In the opinion of Khabib, it is this dedication that differentiates Islam from others and enabled him to become a world-class champion.
But Islam made it all the way because of his work ethic, his discipline, and let's call it sacrifice. He gave up a lot to reach this level. This isn't easy. You have to make sacrifices. You have to make sacrifices. You have to give up parties. You have to sacrifice sleep. You have to sacrifice your time. There are so many things you have to give up. You have to dedicate your entire life to this sport, putting aside all the things that can distract you. You train, you sleep, you eat, you wake up, and then you do it all over again. Only then can you reach the level that Islam reached. That's what makes him unique.
Were there any small but interesting differences between you and Islam, psychologically speaking?
There are many.
He also mentioned that even though there are some psychological differences between him and Islam, there are many similarities in their mental attitude towards fighting. Having trained together in training camps and fought together for so many years, Khabib has realized how psychologically strong Islam has become. According to him, one of the major similarities between them lies in their work ethics.
Logically, he's very solid too. I've been around him through so many training camps and so many fights. He's built very strong mentally. Of course, we're different in certain things, but in terms of our fighters' attitude toward their work, we have a lot in common. A lot.
you also train a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot.
And I think well, first I have to say, I watched you train yesterday, and it made me really happy to see that you still love this so deep.
According to Chael Sonnen, Ian Garry is at an important crossroads in his career in this fight against Makhachev, since the outcome will largely determine what lies ahead for him in the welterweight division. The fact that Sonnen mentions is that after Garry's victory, the immediate opponent to face would be Islam again for his title defense, but with a defeat, the task will become much more challenging to come back into contention.
Because there's so much on it. I mean, if Ian Garry is to beat Islam, who would he fight next? My guess, Islam. So what if he gets beat? Where does he go from there? He's very young in MMA terms. He's got another, realistically, a decade. That's probably pushing it, 2 or 3 years, but he's got 6 to 7 years of shelf life. Where does he go? Where does he go if Islam stays? It's very hard to get a title shot. It's harder to get another title shot against the same guy. That's a very difficult thing to do. It's been done plenty of times. It can be done. But boy, it's interesting. It sure is competitive at 170. It really is.
Sonnen then went on to emphasize that Garry had already proved himself capable of recovering from a setback, since he had previously lost a fight but came back stronger afterwards. Sonnen actually feels that Garry has appeared to be in better shape after the run following his loss, which shows that Garry can become stronger through adversity. However, losing to Islam will put him in a far more difficult position. He cannot make a move up to the middleweight class because he does not have the size for it, and fighting in the welterweight class again would require him to face the highly congested division once again.
And it tells us so much about Ian Garry, because it's not as though Ian hasn't been in that spot. It's not as though Ian hasn't fallen and had to re-rise. Ian Garry lost to Rakhmonov and came back better. He looked better in his fight after Rakhmonov. He's looked better in his run to the championship after the loss than he did before the loss. But it still is a very complicated question. What do you do? Where do you go? Not big enough to go to 185. Like, changing weight classes is the easiest and best way to get a fresh coat of paint. That is, he's not big enough to go to 85. He's too big to go to 170. He had some heat with Chimaev. Chimaev left the division. Where would he go? Very interesting spot. And he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that other guys love to talk about, but they don't want to fight. Ian Garry is one of those guys that everybody loves to discuss, but they don't go as far as...
That is the hard road that Aljamain Sterling foresees for Garry when stepping into the cage opposite an opponent who will not have to depend on speed to dominate. The skills of Islam to box his opponent in, apply pressure, and box from the southpaw position will cause many problems for Garry, according to Sterling. For Ian to win the fight, he will have to avoid being boxed in, rely on his movement, and outwork his opponent at distance without tiring. However, based on Garry fading back in his previous fights, Sterling foresees an easy fight for Islam by forcing Garry to the cage and then taking him down, while Sterling perceives movement as the most formidable attribute of Garry's. Makhachev insists that his preparations are focused on preparing to face such an ordeal while not forgetting about his advantages. The former shared that he had been training alongside tall and rangy sparring partners in order to simulate some characteristics of Garry, but his teammates, Usman and Amru, already provided a similar look. Nevertheless, Islam stressed the fact that the main goal of his preparations is the readiness for the bout in terms of fitness, rather than focusing only on one particular attribute of Garry. Adding another layer to the matchup, Demetrius Johnson believes Islam's rhythm and ability to control distance could be crucial against Garry. Looking back at Islam's fight with JDM, Johnson noted how Islam repeatedly disrupted his opponent's timing, attacked the legs, and mixed in takedowns whenever JDM tried to open up with his hands. Against Garry, Johnson expects a very different challenge because of Ian's height and reach. He sees the early exchanges potentially becoming a tactical game at range, but believes Islam will have a major advantage once the fight hits the ground, where his control and submission threats could become decisive. Johnson continued by explaining that Garry's natural style could make the size difference even more important. With his greater height and reach, Ian can use long kicks and attacks to keep Islam at distance, but those same weapons could create openings for Islam to time a takedown. Johnson expects Islam to carefully navigate Garry's kicks while finding ways to close the distance. opponents. He also praised Islam for staying at welterweight rather than immediately returning to a smaller division, arguing that taking on bigger and longer opponents adds another significant challenge to his legacy. That same clash of styles has also caught the attention of Dominic Cruz, who believes both fighters can expose weaknesses in the other's game. Cruz explained that Islam's striking has improved dramatically because opponents are so focused on defending his takedowns, creating openings for his hands. But against Garry, who could control the distance and force more extended stand-up exchanges, those openings may be harder to find. Cruz believes Garry's biggest challenge will be surviving Islam's repeated takedown attempts, especially early in each round. If he can stop the first few shots without burning too much energy, Cruz thinks Garry could find increasing success as the fight progresses. Cruz also believes the move to welterweight gives Garry a legitimate chance to pull off the upset. He expects Ian to look significantly bigger than Islam, which could help him use his reach and distance effectively. Cruz does not expect a dominant performance though. Instead, he sees a closely contested fight, potentially going the full distance, with Garry possibly edging out Islam through a narrow decision, even a split. So, who do you think gets the win when Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry finally step into the cage? Will Islam's wrestling and pressure prove too much? Or can Garry use his size, movement, and striking to pull off the upset? Let us know your prediction in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more UFC breakdowns and fight updates.